Attention home buyers. Would you really like to know the relationship between your lender and your real estate agent? Hey, realtors, how would you like to know what lenders really think about you? And lenders, you ever really care to know what makes realtors get excited about taking your phone call? Well, we spill the tea in today's episode. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children 18 plus, you are tuned in to the Loan Officer Podcast with me, Dustin Owen, and my main man,
JC.
John Coleman.
Dio, what's poppin'?
I'm trying to figure out why you're carrying around a mason jar that looks like there's nothing but clear liquid in it. Is that moonshine?
Fucking moon water, actually.
Moon water. Is moon water like moonshine?
I don't know. It's a new thing my wife has us doing where for every new moon or full moon, we put out a mason jar full of water and it's supposed to energize the water.
Okay. Like, do you have any like special medicine in there?
Ain't no
any
lean,
cacti?
No, nothing. That's
anything fermenting in there?
Water, just pure water, man. Water,
Is it tap water?
Water and wishes.
Like, or is it like Fiji water and then you put it
we
out?
put it through a Brita filter because, you know, water here in Florida tends to be eggy because it's very sulfuric.
It is eggy and sulfuric. That's probably because you're on well water.
Well, that's everywhere.
Living out in the country
False,
where you
that's
live.
everywhere. Oh, I can pull up in your neighborhood in the gated community. It smells like eggs. You know why? Because you use reclaimed water. Next question.
Very good. Well, John walks in this morning with this mason jar, and I'm looking at the time. I'm like, JC.
I mean, shit,
You're
Mark knows I've woken up
already drinking
on
shine.
go. I'll wake up on go, but I'm trying to be a little bit better now.
Yeah, his country ass. That's what you don't know. He likes to wear the Boston hat and he likes to talk about being from Mass. At the end of the day, he's a country bumpkin drinking moonshine at 10 a.m.
I did get an Echo. I got the long extended-pole tree pole saw, so I'm looking forward to putting that to use this weekend.
Okay, did you get gas-powered or did you get electric?
What the fuck? Don't embarrass me with that shit. Take that electric-powered shit away from me. NIMBY.
Speaking of which, we actually are doing YIMBY. I thought about you right now.
Yes, in my backyard?
Yes, in my backyard. There is actually, there is legislation currently out to be voted on, right, in the House. So not in the Senate, but in the House, there's legislation. Mm-hmm. And the MBA, the Mortgage Bankers Association, is currently having a call to action from MA. MA is the Mortgage Action Alliance. If you're not signed up to be a part of MA, it's free, and it's your way to grassroots be involved in our industry. But anyhow, there's a MA movement right now where you click a couple buttons and you can let your congressperson know that we want them to vote for whatever it is. I think it's like HR 317 or 305. There's always, you know, HR something. But it's YIMBY, yes, in my backyard. And all it's trying to do is promote the local municipalities in the states to make development of more housing easier and not harder, less restrictive and not more restrictive.
That was purely organic, and that's why this relationship works, because that was not rehearsed.
No, John just likes to throw out stupid things that he barely knows about, like NIMBY. Probably because it makes him think of a cartoon that you once watched.
It reminds me of Gumby, actually.
Yeah, it does.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I do actually kind of remember Gumby.
Yeah. Now let's get into my favorite part of the show, because this is awesome, the relationship between realtors and lenders, because y'all hate each other and y'all just talk shit about each other behind each other's backs, but y'all need each other to make money, so it becomes like a succubus. It becomes like, what was Venom to like the guy? Remember Venom, the Spider-Man? It becomes
kryptonite to
symbiote. It becoms a symbiotic relationship.
A symbiotic relationship. Yes. I like that word. Can you spell it?
SYM biotic. SYM biotic, symbiotic.
Okay, very good. Now, I don't know if I could have been able to spell that well,
Hold
John.
Hold on, pause. I didn't hear the ding. That means I make it through to the next round.
Is it? Hey, all right, you go, Regis Philbin.
Okay, now.
On that note, can we finally get into the show, John?
Yes.
Yeah, there's somebody out there that is just throwing their HP 12C at the wall, and they're mad at you and I because we haven't jumped into it.
If they're using an HP 12C, they're probably not a top producer.
Shush, they are a top producer.
Probably. Is it probably on a leather flip case? Probably use a Palm Pilot too. Probably use a flip phone.
Probably not a flip phone.
Probably drive a Buick Regal.
All right, let's go.
All right.
For our potential home buyers that are tuning in and you made it this far, well, thank you. Check this out. One thing I need you all to know. Your realtor and your lender should always work together for your best interest. And your realtor refers you to certain lenders because they know that lender is someone that's accountable. They know that that lender is somebody that's going to advocate for you to help you get your offer accepted. They know that that lender is someone that is accessible. And they know that that lender is somebody who is going to give you the best advice and see to it that your loan closes on time. I think home buyers really need to understand that is why a really good realtor will refer really strongly certain lenders in the marketplace. It's because of those 5 criteria. It is not because they're getting paid. In fact, that is illegal. So all of y'all in the 305, I'm joking when I say that, tongue in cheek, wink, wink, nod, nod. But literally, home buyers need to understand it is illegal for a lender to pay a realtor for a referral. That is a violation of RESPA Section 8. There's no such thing as a quid pro quo. Hey, John, if you refer me your next buyer, I'll give you $100. Like, nope, can't do that. Hey, John, refer me your next home buyer because I'm going to do these 5 things. I'm going to make myself crazily accessible. I'm going to make sure I advocate on behalf of the buyer in terms of getting their offer accepted. I'm going to make sure we close on time. Make sure that your buyer gets the best loan, not just any loan, but the best loan that matches their financial needs, wants, and goals. And I'm going to be accountable to you and to them throughout the entire process, which is going to help the realtor look good. So that is every reason why lenders and realtors need each other. And that's every reason why a realtor needs a good lender. And if you're trying to figure out what do I need to do to be a good lender, those are the 5 things I would tell you to start with. Okay. Now, that's for the home buyers. That's just a very quick answer to the most common question I get, which is, why is my realtor making me talk to you? Why can't I go to my bank? Why can't I go to my credit union? Why can't I call my servicer and just use whoever picks up that 800 number? Well, the reason why is because your realtor doesn't know that person. If they don't know that person, they can't vouch for them being good at their job, being accountable, being accessible. They don't know if they're going to make sure that they advocate on your behalf to get your offer accepted. They don't trust that they're going to close on time because they don't have any reason to trust they're going to close on time because they don't have any case studies of working together. And there's a good chance that person isn't really accountable or accessible, which makes that realtor feel very uneasy. So when you're buying a home, you have to understand that there is a relationship between your lender and your realtor, and who you use matters. And giving those 2 professionals the opportunity to work together is crucial to your ultimate success of having a smooth transaction. Okay, so I'm going to start there. I know in the soft open, we joked and kidded around, and I'm going to try to throw in some jokes and some kids and some more tongue-in-cheek
Who was
moments.
joking? I wasn't joking.
I was joking.
Oh, well, you got face to save.
Okay, face to save. Let's get on to the lenders. Okay, lenders, where to go?
Stop acting so damn thirsty. These realtors are tired of fielding y'all damn calls. They heard the same script the past 13 people who called. You're not different. You're not special. Bring me donuts next Thursday, though, please.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know where to go besides this. Y'all, we as lenders, we need referral sources. And for the past 20 years of my existence in this industry, and probably the 20 years that came before it, and 20 years is going to come after it, realtors have been the go-to referral source. And why is that? It's because nobody that I've ever met woke up and said, I would love to go in debt for 15, 20, or even 30 years. Man, I want to buy a house. You know what sounds sexier than buying a house? Probably getting a prostate exam, but done not with a finger, but done with a loan officer who's digging into not my shit, but digging into my shit, meaning my income, my assets, my credit score, my budget, etc. Right? So like nobody wakes up saying, God, that sounds fun. Right? Let's go through this like pre-approval process. No, they wake up and they say, I want to own a home. I want it to be 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I want to be in this neighborhood, in this school district. It needs to have a pool or no pool. Right? Those are certain things that they want. Therefore, they reach out to the real estate agents first or the websites that are advertising and marketing homes for sale. So we have to understand that as a lender, we should probably choose to work with the real estate community. Now, we can work against them. By all means, if you want to work against them, have at it. I'm just going to let you know this. I don't know any highly successful mortgage loan originators. By highly successful, I'm talking about those guys and girls that are making $400,000, $600,000, $1 million a year consistently as a loan originator, and they're not embracing the real estate community. Like, I just don't know it. I'm sure there's outliers. I'm sure Malcolm Gladwell would love to write about you in his book, Outliers. But when I'm studying the patterns, we all have to understand that realtors are our jam and they are our client. Their buyers are our customer, but they are our client. However, you do not have to be all things to all people. You have to be the best version of you for the right people who look for that. And I think too many times as a loan originator, we try to be all things to all people. No, we need to go find our people. We need to go find our tribe. And then we need to find ways to work more with those people. And instead, I see loan originators making the mistake of just hammering a square peg through a round hole.
I have to swallow my pride, Dustin. This guy is a mega shark whale producer, and if I just get him on my roster, I'll be set for life. He abuses me, though, on the phone, so I don't know what to do.
Yeah, no, you don't. Like, that's my answer. No, you don't. Some will, some won't. Who cares? Move on. What you do have to do is you do have to find ways to bring value. And I'm going to tell you, you don't bring value by closing on time because you're supposed to close on time. You don't bring value by having all the products under the sun. You're a lender. You're supposed to have access to all the products under the sun. You don't bring value by picking up your phone. You're supposed to pick up your phone. Okay, those are just like standard operating procedures. Now, you could bring value by picking up your phone, relentlessly pursuing all leads, at which point you help that realtor capture and close more business. There's value. You can bring value not by having every product under the sun, but teaching your realtors how to use some of your products to market to their database, to create content to post on social, to generate more excitement around homeownership, right? Those are ways that you can bring value, but you're supposed to pick up the phone. You're supposed to give ironclad pre-approvals. You're supposed to close on time. Now, you can bring value by not just doing an ironclad pre-approval, but how do you leverage that ironclad pre-approval to get an offer accepted when you're in a multiple offer situation, right? Those are things that you have to do. But if you're just rolling into a relationship and you're trying to lead with like the basics, that's like me trying to win a Michelin star at a restaurant and just leading with, well, your food will come out on time and it'll be hot. But what if it tastes like shit? What if it's not unique? What if my plating isn't what it needs to be? What if? No, you have to remove all the what ifs. So as a lender, I'm first going to teach you need the real estate industry. You need to find ways to partner with them. That's a strong P word, partner. Partner with them, bring them value. Value has always been to me, how do I make their life easier? How do I help them generate more leads? How do I help them increase their lead conversion? How do I help them make more money while looking good while doing so? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm looking to do. But don't let them push you around. Okay. You do not have to work with every realtor that looks in your direction. And probably more importantly, it's still a business relationship and it's not a monogamous relationship. I think that's a mistake that I made early on, is thinking that these relationships were monogamous. I'm like, no, monogamy is for the birds when it comes to this realtor-lender relationship. I want to be their go-to. I want to be their first call. Yeah. I want to get the bulk of their referrals, but I also know they're going to have a couple other lenders. I need to be okay with that. And it can't be abusive, not just with the guy that you talked about, the shark who abuses me, but you also have that person who might be super nice, but the relationship from a monetary standpoint isn't where it needs to be. Maybe they're constantly hitting you up for money. Oh, I need you to help me with these mailers. I need you to sponsor this client event. I need you to co-market with me on Zillow. All of those are very acceptable conversations to have with someone that I am partnered with, and there's an ROI there. But I need my partners to understand this is the value that I bring you, And this is what I need in return. And if I'm going to be spending money, then I need more because I need an ROI on my ad spend.
Hey, I have a question for you, Dustin. I'm a loan officer. What script or what advice or what can I say to a realtor that is always giving me leads, but they're always like the tricky ones, like the hard loans, subprime loans? We have a great relationship, but all they seem to feed me is, let's be frank, shitty leads. But I want them to know that like I can do, good leads too. Like, I'm here. I'm not just like the rescue loan guy.
Well, I think that's the conversation that you have. I mean, I would start that conversation with gratitude. Be like, hey, John, man, I love the fact that you look my way and you ask for my partnership with some of these home buyers. Out of curiosity, because I would like to know, are most of your buyers those that require special attention when it comes to financing, meaning that they're outside of the normal credit box? Or do you have buyers that are more traditional and the ones that I get to partner with you on are those that are out of scope? And the reason why I ask is that, I have found that success is going to be in a pattern of what the norm is. And the norm, just in case you didn't know, is 85% of every home buyer that's obtaining financing, they're either using conventional FHA, VA, or USDA. Like that's what they're now. Occasionally we'll do one of the state down payment assistance programs, or we'll do like a conventional or traditional jumbo loan. But those make up the 85%. And most of my business is doing that 85%. Now I can do the other 15%, but I'm just curious if, going forward, if this is what's normal for you, or if there's not, I would love to find a way to partner with you on all of your buyers, not just the ones that need special attention. Right? Like I'm going to try to attack it that way. I probably wouldn't have said all of that in one breath. I would have tried to lead the conversation to get there. But ultimately, I want them to know that, hey, look, I'm not just your non-QM lender. I'm not just your down payment assistance lender. Right? I'm not just your Spanish-speaking borrower lender. Like I work with all borrower types. And in fact, 85% of my business is doing one of those 5 or 6 loans I just mentioned to you. The other 15% is made up of about 30 different products. But my goal is to spend most of my time in that 85% and not, have that swing to where 20 or 30% of what I'm doing is in that space of what I would call the more special needs or trickier loan files. Right. So, and at the end of the day, I may have a realtor that they too are new. They too are fishing in the wrong pond, at which point they can only give me what they have. I might not want what they have. So I can do 2 things. I can run for the hills, or I can sit down with them and try to coach them on ways that they can start marketing towards a more traditional or a higher quality buyer pool or seller pool. Because maybe for them, they haven't been well coached and they're just fishing in the catfish pond, and I need them going over here and fishing in like the tilapia or the bass pond.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how I would tackle that.
Well said, Dustin. I just have to wind you up and let you go.
Yeah, but back on my lenders, and I'll put a bow on it for my lenders. Like I want y'all to know that our industry is one in which realtors are our number one client. I wouldn't try to bucket. Now, they might not be like, 90% of your business. Maybe they're 50% of your business. And the other 50% is coming from your circle of influence, your past clients, financial advisors, which are phenomenal referral sources, divorce attorneys, estate attorneys. Maybe you get in with a certain local employer and you have an affiliate relationship or an affinity relationship, and the employer is referring you, maybe reloads. Like there's a dozen other referral sources outside of real estate. And I'm not saying real estate should ever make up more than 50%, but it should be at least 50% of it. You have to be able to bring them value. And I do not believe in the quid pro quo. I don't think this is a relationship, and this will let me segue into realtors. I don't believe this is a relationship where I have the ability to be like, hey, John, you're a realtor. If you refer me, I refer you back. If you refer me, I refer you back. Like that's not how it works. Like going back to what I talked about 20 minutes ago, very rarely does somebody wake up wanting to go in debt for 15, 20, or 30 years. For 15 years, I had my company's name on the side of the biggest building overlooking the interstate. Do you know how many loans we funded? In 15 years, we had 20 loan officers working out of this branch. How many loans we funded because someone saw that sign, they pulled off the interstate, they parked their car, they came up to the 6th floor? Take a guess.
0.
0 would be my guess too, John, but I can promise you this, it was less than 3. Less than 3 loans in 15 years. Like, it just doesn't happen. Now, people walked in once a quarter, but I'll tell you this about walk-ins, you don't want that. Like,
I've exhausted all my other options.
You don't
please.
want that. Very rarely does that work out in your favor.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like understanding that it's asinine for me to think as a mortgage professional, and it's asinine for a real estate agent to think that, oh yeah, I'll refer them, they refer me. Like realtors, look, y'all need a great lender. Period. End of story. Like, go listen to Tom Ferry. Go listen to Brian Buffini. Like, y'all need a great lender. You probably need 2 or 3 really good lenders. One that's great because they're great to you. One that's great to you because they mesh well with your clients. They mesh well with your book of business. And 2 others as backups. Maybe one's your legit backup and one you keep around because they have a product or 2 that's in their tool belt that maybe the other 2 don't have. And you need to have your team built out. But to think that a loan officer is going to be able to refer you as many times as you refer them, I think you need more experience. I really do. Go talk to any top realtor in your space, whether they're in your office, whether they're in your market, or they work for your company in a state, 3 states away, it doesn't matter. Very rarely have I ever met a top producing realtor in the space and they're like, oh, I only refer my LO because for every 1 referral I give her, she gives me 1 back. Like, it doesn't work that way. And if it did, here's the deal. If I was such a great lead generator on my own, then I would just start my own real estate brokerage, generate leads for mortgage and for home buyers and refer them to my brokerage. But it doesn't work that way. Like, that's just not how things work because of consumer behavior. So I would start that with realtors. Now, realtors, what do loan officers think of you? You don't want me to go there.
No, I think this is a great opportunity for us to dig deeper into that cavity, Dustin. I would like you to role play and speak for the majority of loan officers. Like, you were going just, like, hey, realtors, I got your ear. My other guys are too shy to say this, but this is the scenario. This is how people are really feeling about you, coach.
All right, so let's go with loan officers. Realtors think that you're just a greedy person with your hand out. You have to change that with your actions, not your words. Show them that you're a partner, right? But right now, walk into it as you're a dime a dozen. They don't know how hard your job is. They don't know how thorough you scrub up front to do a proper pre-approval. Well, it's your job to show them how much you do up front. It's your job to show them how you're different. It's your job to prove to them that you're not just somebody who has their hand out wanting a referral. But you should walk into every relationship with that in the back of your mind that, man, this person probably thinks I'm just one of those leeches with my hand out. This person probably thinks that doing a pre-approval is like 5 minutes. Pull credit, write a letter, and send it out. Right? They have no idea. Just like you don't know how hard their job is. Hell, most lenders don't know how tedious a processor's job is because you never processed. So I think first and foremost, from a lender standpoint, know that about realtors, and know that it's your job to show them. Okay. On the real estate side of things, what do lenders think of realtors? Well, the really good lenders that I know are appreciative. They're gracious. They understand that they built their business on the backs of their clients, the real estate agents. They understand that by partnering with realtors, they were able to fund X amount of loans, make X millions of dollars, save X million of dollars, and they have created a life for themselves that they never thought they would do. That's probably the top 10%. Everyone else, real talk. Yeah. I've heard everything from, a real estate agent is somebody who failed at everything else in life, so they became a realtor.
Why is that false?
Not true. It's not true.
Debatable.
It depends. No, because that's not fair. Because there's a lot of lenders that if you ask me about a lender, I'm like, oh, pinky ring wearing.
Yeah, hold on. They're in the same
shirt button down to their belly button, chest hair popping out.
That's why
hair greased back.
That's why it's hilarious, because y'all both are in the same boat yelling at each other. Y'all both ain't good at shit besides selling loans or selling houses.
I would like to believe that really good lenders are true advisors. Really good lenders care about the humans that they're supporting, and they're educators and they're financial coaches, and they're problem solvers, and sometimes they're therapists. Okay, that's a really good lender. And I would like to believe a really good realtor. A really good realtor is somebody that would have excelled in multiple professions, but they chose real estate because that's where their passion was. But no, it's like anything. What's the saying about like sour grapes and
it takes a village? Maybe not that one.
No, this is more of like don't let one bad apple ruin the bunch.
But it does. The one bad spoiled orange ruins the entire batch of Smarties from Publix. You know that, Dustin.
Yeah.
Of cuties. They're called cuties, not Smarties.
They are called cuties, yes. So here's what I would ask of the real estate community. Understand that y'all need lenders. Unless you're going to work nothing but with cash buyers, you need a lender. And you need a good lender. And good lenders matter. And the lenders that are reaching out to you, they're just like you. They're sales professionals. They're looking for an opportunity to build a relationship. That's all they're looking for. An opportunity to get to know you so you can get to know them, in hopes that you're going to come across someone who needs their services and you're going to be willing to refer them. That's what it is. This is not a quid pro quo. When I refer homeowners insurance, when I refer financial advisors, when I refer attorneys, which I refer all of these, do you know how many times I'm asking for something in exchange? Zero. You know what I want in exchange? Make me look good. Take care of my people. So they keep calling me back. So they keep coming to me as their source of information. That's what I want. And if I was going to talk to a real estate agent, I would ask you, please, what you should want out of your lender is be a great lender. Be a great partner to you. Be there to be a source of information for you and your clients, and be there to collaborate with you on how they can help you generate more leads or increase your lead conversion so you can sell more homes. Like, that's what matters most. When they reach out to you, there's no reason to be a dick. There's no reason to give them a cold shoulder. There's no reason to, like, they're doing their job. They're trying to provide for their family just like you are. Like, how would you want someone to treat you if you're reaching out to them because you're calling expireds? Or you're reaching out to them because you're trying to promote your open house? Or you're reaching out to them because you're calling FSBOs, right? Like, it kind of goes both ways. And I would ask that the real estate community were just to be a little bit more accepting to what's going on in the loan officer world. And by the way, they don't need you, because there's 10,000 of you in each market, and a good lender needs about 40 of you, right? They need 200 in the database. Right? So that would be 2%. If I'm in Orlando, Florida, and there's 10,000 licensed realtors, I need 200 in my database, of which I work with 40. So they don't need you. Quit acting like they need you. But they need someone who does what you do for a living, but they don't necessarily need you. And they can bring you as much value as you're willing to take, if you're willing to be receptive. But they're not there to just be like, hey, if you refer me, I'll refer you. If that's the case, they would just go out and generate their own leads. And then they would have their spouse just go get a real estate license, and that relationship wouldn't be in existence. And I think that's something that gets missed. It doesn't get discussed. And because of that, you tend to have this like loathing relationship, and the relationship should never be loathing. It should be a relationship of symbiotic nature, one in which of harmony, of partnership, where you come together to collaborate, you share successes, you work on you work on things that didn't go well to improve upon, and rinse, repeat.
Wow, Dustin.
So there you go. That is the relationship between lender and realtor. Home buyers, that's for you. Mortgage borrowers, that's for you. But even real estate agents, this is for you. I'm sure it was taught to you. I'm sure it was trained. If it wasn't, then maybe today's episode was something of value. Loan officers, I hope you gained a lot from this too, because there's a little bit of what not to do and there's a whole lot of what to do. And the biggest thing is don't give up. Don't accept where you are. Constantly push for betterment. And betterment can be so many different things. Everything from getting a higher quality referral source to controlling that partnership a little bit better, to the value that you bring. All of that you could consistently focus on becoming better.
Well said, Dustin. You inspired me.
I try to inspire you, John Coleman.
I'm going to go out and get my realtor license.
Hey, you go do that. Your real estate license?
And my NMLS number. And I'm going to do both at the same time.
There are plenty of people out there that are trying to do that. And there's a lot of speculation that the NAR commission settlement is just going to push more people to have dual licenses.
Ooh.
I hope that's not the case. I don't support it at this standpoint. I'm not a proponent of it. Like, this is not to be a Jack or Jill of all trades. It's like be a master of one. And master being the best real estate agent or master being the best lender. But we don't need to be like, oh, I can sling something here and sling something there. I'm like, cool. So now you're average at both. So now your home buyer gets average experience. They get average representation so that you can make twice the money. And I'm going to tell you, you might make twice the money per transaction. But here's the $1 million question. Did you make twice the money if you would have just been the best realtor or just been the best lender? And maybe I'll leave you with this. And by the way, I coach our coaching students on this, right? If you are a part of the LO Launch Coaching Program, or more specifically, the TLOP MLO coaching community, of which I'm one of 5 coaches. We do 8 live 1-hour coaching calls per month. 3 of them are with me. 5 of them are with my coaching staff, and everyone on the faculty are top producers, still in the game, broker, banker, male, female, West Coast, East Coast, 5 years in the business to 25 years in the business, right? So it's a good representation of the future of mortgage lending is who we have coaching over at the TLOP MLO coaching community. But I'm going to coach you on this. I, as Dustin Owen, or you as John Coleman, or them as Sally Mae, you have 40 to 50 hours to work per week to do the most of what you love doing and what you're great at so that you can generate the most leads, help the most people, fund the most transactions to make the most money. And at the end of the day, it's about making the most money working the 40 to 50 hours a week. It's not the most money per transaction. It's not about double dipping. It's about I have 40 to 50 hours per week. Where can I go and scale that? I will tell you, be a badass real estate agent with a buyer's agent and a transaction coordinator or maybe a showing assistant, and you'll make the most money every single year. Become a badass mortgage loan originator with a dedicated processor, a loan partner, and an LOA. Generating your 60, 70 leads a month, closing your 20 to 25 transactions, making upwards of $100,000 a month, that right there is where you'll make the most money. I don't believe this whole dual agency, this I'm going to have a both real estate license and I'll be a lender and I'm going to do both. Okay, cool. Like, are you going to be giving that home buyer the best version of you? Are you going to be able to give that borrower the best version of you? Or do they get the half-assed version of buyer representation, the half-assed version of being a lender, all because you're not willing to go all in to be great at one thing? You may have just like clipped a nerve there, John.
Mm-hmm.
But
as your cell phone goes off.
As my cell phone goes off, that's the alarm. That's actually not even a cell phone. If you can hear it in the background, that's an alarm going off that says that my blood pressure just hit a nod that was possibly not the safest. I need to back it down a little bit.
I don't think your Garmin watch has that functionality, Dustin.
I'm not wearing my Garmin watch today. I'm wearing the Breitling.
I'm going to get you a Rolex one day.
This is my one and only fancy watch.
I know, in one day.
My one and only. I've had it for over 10 years. My wife bought it for my 10-year wedding anniversary.
Damn, didn't
That was 12 years ago.
Jesus, didn't even mean to strike a nerve.
That was 12 years ago. So listen, John, that's all the time we have. Okay, we're gonna find a way. Just put a bow on this. Say, hey, we're done.
Shut it off.
But what I'm gonna tell you, if you like this type of content, please make sure you share it. Please make sure if you're on Spotify or Apple, you give us a 5-star review. Regardless if you're on Spotify or Apple, please go over to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Sign up for the newsletter. The newsletter can be found at tloponline.com. And if you're a mortgage loan originator and you're not being coached, why not? You are your product. What are you doing to invest in your business? What are you doing to invest in your product? If you're that product, you need business coaching and sales training. And I'm going to invite you to come look our way. Join the TLOP MLO coaching community. But until then, he's John Coleman. I'm Dustin Owen. That's all the time we have for you today, but we do look forward to catching you in the next episode.